Hello, Rondi. Hello from Brazil. Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. Seem to be having a little performance issue here. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's notch down our aliasing one notch. That helps. Taxi, good to see you. Rondi, yeah, I know. I'm glad you're inspired, man. I can't wait to see your simulator. You should go to the website and post some pictures. OTG or BFG, I call myself Basement Fly Guy on my website, so you can call me either one. I'm good. We're going to be continuing our flight today in the Mooney. The Mooney is currently in Santanta, Kansas. We're going to fly to Amarillo, and we're going to try to fly direct using visual navigation, which means I'm going to be trying to be able to see what's going on from all this stuff around me, which, now that I think about it, makes me want to perhaps make this a little bigger. There we go, get back on our captain's seat here. So the other night, if those who watched, I made a night flight and flew the Mooney from Goodland, Kansas to Santanta. And now we're going to do the next step on the flight. A little too close for my comfort. A little too far. Boy, I had it set up just the way I liked it before. Let's try that. That's good. So, oh, you posted them. I'll have to go check them out. I don't know. You always get to sit in the cargo area. I don't know how that is, Forgotten. It's good to see you. Martin, I'm using an Oculus. I'm using a 980 Ti. It's the one that the PC shipped with when I built the sim a couple years ago, and I've never upgraded it. So far, it's working pretty well. Parking brake on. I had a friendly request to start my videos when I'm rolling onto the runway. I appreciate the request, but the bottom line is that I like to be able to brief the flight for people who are watching so that they know what's going on, and to be able to do that here. So that's what I'm going to do. So we are going to, we're not reporting our position with the moving map. We're not going to use VORs, and I'm not going to, we'll turn this to the, maybe to the traffic display. Hey, Ex-Aviator, good to see you. So we're going to fly to Amarillo, Texas today. This in the Mooney should take us about an hour, give or take. We'll fly back into the Albuquerque ARTCC Air Traffic Control Center area about there. And at that point, we'll pick up advisories and use PilotEdge Air Traffic Control into Amarillo, which is a class Charlie, as you can see on the charts. So that's going to be the plan, and we're going to do it without a moving map and without GPS. We're going to just use good old look out the window navigation. Sky is clear for the most part, given that there's not a lot of visual things to see in Kansas. This should be a test of my navigation skills. We're going to fly on a heading of about 202. So we'll get that dialed in as well. Shadow Walker, good to see you. Yes, PE has been quiet in the morning. We'll see what it's like when we get up there. It's only five or so people on this morning. Okay, so Our rotating beacon is on. We don't need any other lights at the moment. We'll turn taxi lights on before we go. Let's turn on our noise canceling headset. And get ready to radio here. Santanta is 122.8. Now I've been losing these Oculus dash windows after an indeterminate amount of time. I don't know how long that's going to last, but if it happens, I'll try to close Oculus Dash and bring them back. Hopefully I'll be able to do that. Let's see, the METAR, the AWAS for sublet, which is closest, is 118.4. Martin, it depends on what I'm doing. I certainly feel more like I'm flying. And hello, Marco. I feel more like I'm flying in VR for sure. Not getting any weather there, so let's check this. This is saying that 260, 15 to 20. Wow, that's windy. 29.82. We can cross-reference with our altitude at this airport. Altitude at this airport is 2976. So about there. Okay. We'll look at the windsock when we taxi out. Unicom is 122.8. And I'll just go ahead and make the call for practice. And if the winds really are from about that direction, (260, 270), and here we're going to want to go out on I think it's 21, was it? Yeah, 21. Santanta traffic, Ovation 15 Julia Golf taxiing to 21 Santanta. Okay. Take off our parking brake. Nice little airport here that somebody downloaded, that I downloaded from the org that somebody designed. Although I don't know what those trees there are supposed to be. And they've got, oh wow, look at that. This is telling me I've got a crosswind. Well, we'll do our best. We'll see what it looks like when we get down there. They've also got some little airplanes flying around and stuff. That's a nice touch, but I think it just takes up frames a bit unnecessarily sometimes. It was fun flying into here the other night. Okay, full gas. We're on the left tank. We'll do our run up when we get down here. Again, we're heading of about 202 out of here. Fix that in our run up also. Right here I can see it pretty easily, so let's get it set. Okay. We'll see how long our windows hold up. Watch where we're going. I was supposed to be flying today in the real world. The airplane's still broken. Apparently it was a problem with the flaps. I'm glad they found it before somebody found it in the air. But today's a perfect day for flying in Tampa. Yesterday was also a perfect, gorgeous day for flying. I'm a little disappointed by all that. Because I should be driving away from the crosswind here, shouldn't I? I need that practice. Victor 2, huh? Surprised we've got a Victor here. Okay. Let's do a quick run up. Quite a crosswind. Okay, well, we'll do our best. Let's get full power. Let's lean our like 280 was our maximum RPM. That right there. There, okay, going to left magnetos. Going to right magnetos. Both engine instruments are green across the board. Vacuum is good. Amperage is good. Okay, back off the power. One notch of flaps. Flight director is off. Landing lights are on. Windows closed. Seat belts and straps are ready. Hello, Macy, good to see you. Do I still use physical yoke and pedals? No, I use physical yoke, physical pedals, physical throttle quadrant. I've got a TPM right here in the real world. And I also have a trim wheel, which for me is down here, not down on the floor. Santanta traffic, ovation 15 Julie Golf, departing 21, departing straight out to the south, Santanta. Okay, we're going to go down. Let's confirm our profile here. We're going to go down to 7,500 feet. Yeah, that looks good. Check that against winds. 15 knot headwind almost the whole way. VFR, are we going westerly? Okay, so we're going to want to go at 6,500. That saves us a little bit of a headwind. Okay. Controls, up, down, one notch of flaps, up, down, side to side. Okay, let's go. Alright, so we're going to start with full right aileron deflection and then diminish it as we pick up speed. Nobody coming. Bit of a short field for us. Got that airplane up there circling. I'll wait for him to go. It's like he's right over the field, but we'll let him get past us. Kind of nice to have everybody. I was doing a bunch of work this morning and I'd blocked some time to fly in the real world, and when my flight got canceled, okay, let's go. I decided to do this. Okay. Again, left aileron technique. Pick up speed, start to back out of it. There we go. Pretty good crosswind. Oh. Begin our crab. And straighten ourselves out. Okay, there we go. You're up. Wind's blowing. Looks like Kansas. There's the little town of Santanta. Right, you hear more noise. Begin our turn. Oh, we're going straight out though, right? Yep. Turn to our heading, and now we're going to be looking for visual references. Hey Jet, good to see you. We're heading to Amarillo today in the virtual world. Flaps up. And we're doing it with just visual navigation. There's that road. Our next real landmark should be these towers if we've got them. If not, we're going to be hard pressed for real visual landmarks here for a little while yet. Some places we have default textures, and in some places we have new ortho scenery that I've burned. We should have ortho scenery the whole way here. I will not use autopilot. I don't fly with autopilot. I don't fly with autopilot in the real world, so I don't fly with it in the sim. Check our wind. 14 knot crosswind. Okay. There goes the road off to the side, bending, which we can see right there. Okay. This is going to be a challenge today. I'll read that in just a second when we get up to cruise. Yeah, we're going to cruise at 6,500. Boost pump is off. Okay, coming up to our cruise altitude. Start to level off. Back to about 18.5 to 19 inches of manifold pressure and 2,400 RPM. There we go. Trim. Okay, now I want to get right to 24. Come on, baby. That's pretty good. Okay, now let's get our mixture set. We want to be about 50 degrees rich of peak. About 1650, 1660. Looks like it's about 1640, so we'll go down to about 1590. Rich. That's pretty close. Put a little more manifold pressure into it. There we go. Alright, configured for cruise. Taxi lights or landing lights off. Oops, strobes aren't on. It's a problem not having a physical checklist. Okay, now where are we? Good question. I don't think that would have come up there. We've got oil tanks coming up here on the left. That's one point. That would be in about 6 minutes takeoff. So we'll be looking for those out the window. The next really big visual reference we're going to have is going to be this lake, Optima National Wildlife Refuge. We should also see the town of Hooker. And up here we should be able to see Liberal off our left-hand wing after about 10 minutes in the air. Okay, let's see. I'm going to turn on the noise canceling. There we go. Start to build past my video channel, so please subscribe. Easy Home Cockpit, that'd be great. I don't know. I wouldn't expect them if they would give me a 430 to review. I mean, it's been I mean, I would love one because the 430 is what I use in the real world, but I don't really have room in the panel for it, and I mean, you know, it's already a blessing just to get the one. I kind of would feel guilty about taking two, but we'll see. Okay, there's a crossroads right there. I don't know if you guys can see that. I bet that is the crossroads right there on our flight. Let's be looking for those oil tanks here in a minute. I'm just going to change the setting in the sim here real quick. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Yeah, Marco, I'd like to. I love Italy. I'd probably just burn my own ortho scenery. Yeah, so there's a major north-south road. So I'm going to guess that that is right about in the middle there. And coming up here, we should see the little town of Woods. Boy, clear and a million today, huh? Look at that, guys. Clear and a million. We might as well be ready to monitor our nearest air traffic control when it comes up. Let's check and see. Turn off our sectional. Our nearest postage stamp here is, well, it's going to be down here, and when we get to Amarillo. Albuquerque, Amarillo is 127.85. We might as well be monitoring that. I didn't go ahead and write a flight log with times to checkpoints because I can't really look at them. I need to look at it very easily. I could have put checkpoints on the flight log on ForeFlight, but I just wanted to sort of see how we could go visual without doing dead reckoning. Okay. All right, so we were looking for the oil tanks coming up. Stay on our heading. Is that an oil tank? Nope, those are all fields. So I haven't seen oil tanks yet. We're probably about 10 minutes in the air now. We'll see how we do. Let's see what we have. Does the Ovation have a feathering propeller? It has a fixed prop propeller. I don't know if that means it has a feathering propeller, but it is fixed prop. You can see the blue handle there is RPM, and the black handle is the throttle for the manifold pressure. Jet, you're going to love it. You're going to love it because not only is it a great unit, but it looks exactly like the real thing. I mean, it's like you got the real thing in your panel. You're going to really like it. And the build quality is excellent. I mean, it doesn't have decals. It's really etched. It looks great. It's a good purchase on your part. Okay. All right, so devoid of landmarks, it looks like there's a road or a river or something down there. Let's see. At some point here we're going to cross the big highway coming out of Liberal. That might be it. I never saw the oil tanks. Starting to get a pretty good crosswind here. A little turbulence. It's a little hard to see, so with the VR, so I cheat sometimes and zoom. there's a town out there. Little town off the left. Maybe that's, I bet that's liberal. Yeah, that's liberal right there. Oh, there's power lines. Okay, we should be able to see power lines on the chart. There's power lines running that way. Looks like there's power lines running there. Okay, so when we cross those power lines, we're almost a beam liberal. And the power lines veer away from it. Yep. And then there's cross, so we're about right. We're about right in here. Oops. It's hard for you to see, but we're about right where that 238 is going to be here in a minute. Okay, so that's liberal. Okay, so we're pretty close to where we wanted to be. After that first segment, I can see where the power lines come out, and then they go at an angle, and then they straighten out again. Yeah, so we're crossing just about where I wanted us to be. Okay. Get to my desired altitude here. Yep. Yep, so the power lines come out of liberal, and then they come across, and then there's a town in front of us where they sort of merge. That would be Tyrone, I believe. Unless that's liberal. We'll see if it has an airport. It's awfully small. That's got to be Tyrone. I don't see an airport. So if that's Tyrone, we should be passing just west of Tyrone. Oops. Boy, I seem to have trouble holding altitude. It seems like I have it trimmed and then it wants to go up, and so I trim it down and then it wants to go down too much. We'll see. Let it just sort of settle and see where it wants to be. It's going to want to climb. Okay, we'll put forward pressure. Okay, so Tyrone has converging, converging power lines. Then the next little town will be, unless that's Hooker, we'll see. If it has an airport, it's going to be Hooker. Hooker has a little airport on the west side of town. That'll be on our side. Yeah, that's going to be Hooker, because there's the strip. Okay, so we're further along than I thought we were. So at 28 minutes, we're a beam Hooker. Sorry, I'm moving my head around a lot. I know that's hard for people to see. Hooker even has a little golf course. Look at that. Boy, it looks so good in VR. I love how X-Plane can put the objects on top of the ortho scenery. It's just great. Okay. Oops. I think we're loading another tile. There we go. Okay, so that's Hooker. Our next visual reference point after Hooker, and we're right where we should be, but we're on the wrong side of the town. We should have been on the opposite side of Hooker. So we're going to adjust just a little bit. And then pick up the same heading of 202. Now we're going down too much. There's Hooker's little airport. Like it's been, somebody's got an X-Plane airport there, it looks like. Nope, it might just be ortho scenery. Hard to see, hard to tell. Alright, so according to this, we would have been on the other side of Hooker. So we'll fly over to about that green field over there, and then we'll go back and rejoin our heading. That'll get us closer. No, Jet, I've got a TPM quadrant that I use for the throttles. It's just easier. So I actually am sitting in my home cockpit with the VR goggles on. That's how I'm doing it. All right. All right. We're just correcting for us being off course at Hooker a little bit. And then we fly just onto the west of the National Wildlife Refuge, and that should only be about 5 minutes. Time to switch tanks. Boost pump on. I have to move here so I can see it. Let me. I can't. There we go. Uh-oh, my controller battery is low. Might mean I have to adjust. Okay, we've adjusted now. Let's get back on our heading. All right. Okay, so pretty soon we should be coming up to the wildlife area. I think that's it right there. Looks like it. Off to that side, it looks like there's a road that curves down. Yep, I can see that. That's the dam there, it looks like. Okay. Yeah, so again, physical yoke, physical pedals, physical throttle, quadrant, physical trim wheel. That's what I go with. And it works well for me. Okay, there should be a road up here that we cross over that goes east to west. Looks like that's it right there, I think. That joins up below the wildlife refuge. So, and there's power lines running that way. And they come across and join power lines running east-west. Okay, I see the east-west power lines. We could have just followed the road out of Hooker for a while. I think that's it right below us. Yeah, that's the road out of Hooker. Okay. And it comes down and then jogs and joins up with that road right there. Okay. So we're right about where we want to be. And then it crosses the power lines, which are right there. Okay. So we should be seeing the little town of Hardesty on our side. They get right in there. That's the wildlife area, I guess. There's the little town of Hardesty, right there. Okay. And we're continue to be all over the map in terms of our, maybe it's simulating thermals. It's taking me up and down. Okay, next visual landmark was we should have wind farms coming up here. We'll also cross over into Texas. Wind farms should be just about 3 minutes. If it renders them. checking something there for a second. Getting a couple little stutters, not sure what that's from. It was smooth as silk last time. Maybe the computer's doing something. Alright, so around 7 minutes we should be at the wind farm. Next, the railroad tracks coming out of there at an angle. There's the railroad tracks right there. Okay, I've got power lines I can see out there on my right in the distance. Those are those power lines there. And where the railroad tracks take a turn is where the wind, or where the wind farm should be. I don't know if it's going to render them or not. We'll see. That looks like the turn, right? Oh yeah, I can see them. Okay, so in front of me I can see where the railroad track turns. We want to be just east of that to be on track. And then we'll sort of follow it. So I'm going to come this way just a little bit. And then I use Real World to XP America for my mesh, and it does a great job of rendering things like wind farms and towers and tanks and all that kind of stuff. It makes VFR flying a lot easier. So if you haven't downloaded it, I highly recommend it. And then we only have after that about 3 more minutes before it's time to pick up our nearest air traffic control frequency, which again, if I look from a postage stamp standpoint, might be, yeah, it's going to be that one, 127.85. Okay, our section will back up. Okay, so there's our train. There's our wind farm. You guys can see that. They're rotating. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Hard to miss that. Okay, so that puts us right in here. And then we're going to come up upon Groover here in a minute. It'll be on our right. Lots of wind farms down there. Look, they're actually placed where the actual, you can see on the ortho, they're placed exactly where the real ones are placed. That is cool. That is amazing. And they're turning. That is awesome. Okay, the little town of Groover. We're going to follow the bend in the railroad tracks. That's Hitchland down there, that little town. Hitchland. We're going to follow the railroad tracks until we get to Groover. When we're at Groover, we should be able to pick up flight following. Very cool. Road and the railroad tracks split right there. It says there's a tower, 3,000-foot tower there also. I don't see the tower. I certainly see the rotating wind to like that guy. Maybe that's reading that as the tower instead of a reading a wind thing rather than a wind turbine rather than the tower. All right. Okay. So we're in Texas now, right? Yeah, through Oklahoma, we're now in Texas. Plan to cover soon. I would be surprised. I think they'd need an awful lot of capital to add coverage for Europe, but nothing would be better. I'm sure there's a lot of European flyers on VATSIM who would love to have PE's level of service. Okay, so if we were just right there, and we're going to cross over a road down here. This might be it right here. And then we'll be in coverage area for PE.
Number 1X right Papa
There they are.
Los Angeles Center 133.55 today.
That is awesome. Right on schedule, right when I mentioned it. All right, let's get ready to pick up traffic. We got to tell them that we're somewhere. Let's tell them that we are 30 miles north, oops, of the Borger VOR. Okay, Albuquerque Center. Albuquerque Center, Ovation 15 Juliet Golf VFR request.
Number 15 Juliet Golf Albuquerque, go ahead.
We are a Mooney Ovation type M20R slant Golf, 6,500. Request advisories to Alpha Mike Alpha at 6,500.
Number 15 Juliet Golf, safe present position.
30 miles north of the Borger VOR. Apologies.
Number 15 Juliet Golf, squawk 6362, maintain VFR.
6362, maintain VFR, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay. As soon as I mentioned them, we had radar. We had picked it up. It's amazing how Keith and the team have programmed it to know exactly when you cross into a coverage area, and then it goes live. That's really, really cool. Okay, so Groover, have we found Groover yet? That's got to be it down there. Yeah.
And 15 Juliet Golf, radar contact 3 miles north of the Borger VOR at 6,600, maintain VFR.
Maintain VFR, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay. That is awesome. It's like you're really doing it. That's the thing with VR in particular. With your hand on a yoke and pedals and a throttle quadrant, even the fact that the graphics, screen door effect, everything else, I don't care, man. I mean, with that and real-world ATC like that, and orthographic scenery like this, and a chart that you can really navigate from, it's crazy real. Crazy, crazy real. So I noticed that the other day. I mentioned in my flight the other night, and that we're going to be just east of Gruner. So let's make sure.
15 Juliet Golf, change to my frequency 124.32.
24.32. Your frequency 24.32, 15 Juliet Golf. Center 15 Juliet Golf is on 24.32.
Roger. And the Amarillo altimeter, 2993.
2993, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay. That is so cool. Okay, we're coming up to Gruner. It's got a couple things going on. Groover Municipal among them, which we should be able to see just southwest. Yep, there it is. There's the field right there. We could get there if we needed to right now, fly right in if we had a problem. Anyway, I was getting emotional about the quality of flight sims these days. There's our little curve in the road right there, which I can see on the map. Looks like there's a little Well, there wouldn't be a little strip through the road, would there? Okay, there's the power lines we're supposed to cross right here. How far are we out from Amarillo? We are from the Charlie. We're about 20 minutes. Okay. Stick with our heading. There's Grosvenor, or Groover. Baseball diamond. Okay, so we're there. Then our next landmark is going to be crossing this set of train tracks, and we should be able to see that train, the merger of train tracks intersection off to our right in a couple of minutes. So we're going to keep an eye open for that. We're being Groover Mooney right now. There's the road. In fact, I could just follow those train tracks out of there. There's that straight line coming out of Groover. So that road right there, which goes on straight for just about ever, is a big part of where we're going to go. There's the intersection. That intersection is right there on my chart. Anyway, I think I was saying that when I was last flying the other night, I was mentioning how one of the things that I've noticed about the difference between VR, okay, there's those power lines, and they go and they come in and they go straight, and then they bend back toward us again. That would be right there. And then they're going to cross the train tracks right up here too. Okay, we'll keep an eye on those. Is that when I, the other day I tried to fly lots of crop circles. No, these aren't by laminar. This is orthographic scenery. I burned this. This is real world imagery. So what I had said is that when I got out, the other day I tried to fly, some of you might have tried to watch it. I tried to fly a physical cockpit flight. I set up the GoPro and everything, and of course the GoPro crashed and blew up, crashed. I didn't even crash the desktop. It crashed to a full reset of the PC, and I was frustrated and things. But the thing I really noticed was that when I got out of the got out of the sim, it really, to me, I didn't feel like I had been flying. And with the VR, when I take it out, and when I take the headset off, I feel like I've been flying. Okay, we're going to have more wind farms coming up here a little bit. And that was meaningful to me because, I wanted to simulate real seat time as much as possible. There's an east-west road. It might be that one right there. That would put a stockyard off to that side. Hard to tell if that's a stockyard or not. We still have the... Okay, so there's a hard turn in the power lines. Makes a real jog. It's hard to see where that might be. That might be right there. That is going to be right there. Okay, so I should be able to see the little town of Morse off the other side. Yep, right there. Okay, we're right where we should be. I wanted to be between Morse and the turn in that power line. So we're right where we're supposed to be. I don't know why it held your message for review, taxi. I'll show it. Hold on a second. Yeah, it's the Mooney. I've been flying it. If you're new to the feed or new to this segment, I started the flight in Half Moon Bay, California, and I've been moving the Mooney from place to place. We flew from Half Moon Bay to outside of Sacramento to Reno to Battle Mountain, Nevada to Wendover, Nevada to then where do we go next? Then we went to Salt Lake City, and then we went to Roosevelt, Utah, which was unintended, but their winds were too high where I was trying to go, so I diverted. And then we went from Roosevelt to Yampa, Colorado, and then we flew over a couple of mountain passes and kind of wove our way through the Rockies on a flight to Denver. And we flew from Denver to Goodland, Kansas, and then from Goodland, Kansas to Santanta, Kansas, and now we're flying to Amarillo. All the time I've done it under real-world conditions. The only exception is the other night I wanted to take a night flight, so I set it to be nighttime when we flew from Goodland to Santanta. But that's what we're doing, and I've tried to manage fuel the whole way and, you know, trying to make it more realistic like that. Okay. We need to be looking for our next visual landmark. Lieutenant Pringle. We should see the Count of Stinnett coming up. We should have more wind farms off to our right down here somewhere. I don't see him quite yet. It's getting bumpy. There's a pretty good bend in the road. I bet that is right there. I don't know. There'd be a little town there. I think it's got to be past that. Does it join another road? Whoa! Join another road down there? Sorta. Joins an east-west road. Hard to tell. And I haven't seen those wind farms. They may not be in the scenery. But I can see the lake in front of me. Yep. I can see the start of the lake. And we want to fly right at the head of the lake, and we're pointed right at it. If I zoom in, I can see the lake. Oh, and there's my wind farm right there. Okay. Do you do your route? And if you do, don't have ortho in the line of flight. I do. Thanks, Mike. No, I burn the ortho as I go. So I burned this morning when I was working, and I just set it up and burned 4 tiles. So if you look at my ortho map, it kind of shows every place I've flown in the airplane and others. Boy, those look great, don't they? Look how real that looks. Holy cow. All right, let's do a little, I'm having too much time looking at the scenery. How's everything? Let's do a scan. We should be doing a scan all the time. Things are looking okay. Airspeed's good. Fuel flow's good. We're okay. We're about equal on tanks. Outside air temperature 13 degrees. Vacuum pressure is good. Amperage is good. RPMs, manifold pressure are right where we'd want them. Cylinder head temperature looks good. We're looking good over there. 1592 is about where we had it. So we're doing okay. This is a good test, flying along without the moving map and without GPS. I do want to say, I know the reason I tried to film that last flight, or a few flights back, using the physical cockpit is I know there's a lot of people who really prefer it. They don't like seeing the VR view. Some people it makes a little seasick. Some people just feel it's more like they're in the cockpit with me if they see that kind of over the shoulder view. It certainly, you know, I enjoy it, and it certainly is easier to do things like run the radios, and I can write things down. It would be hard for me to do, I think we're loading a tile there, hard for me to do IFR. Actually, I think that's a weather update because my haze layer just changed. It would be hard to do a real intense IFR flight this way. But it really struck me the other day when I tried it that I said to my wife, I said, I don't feel like I was really flying. And it didn't feel like practice to me. It might have felt like procedure, but even then, like I can have the Piper Archer here, and it looks just like the plane I fly in the real world. And so in just terms of flow, like, you know, eventually, if you've done real world training, you know this, but if you haven't, you eventually start to learn flows rather than checklists. Like, so in the Piper, when I go into landing, it's, you know, tank on the fullest tank, which starts...
15 Juliet Golf, contact Amarillo, approach 119.5, good day.
Going to approach on 119.5, 15 Juliet Golf. I'll finish that thought in a second. Amarillo approach, November 15 Juliet Golf is 7,500, 6,500. Hey, Jimmy.
Number 15 Juliet Golf, Amarillo approach, Amarillo altimeter 2993. You can expect straight in runway 2231 is also available if you prefer.
We'll expect 9903, and we'll wait for the winds before we make that choice. Thanks for the heads up. 15 Juliet Golf. Okay, so he's expecting 22. Oops, let's clear this. 2 or 3 or 1. We'll wait and get the weather. But so flow, so, you know, I check, I've got full on the fewest tank, and then coming across, yeah, it's okay. Bring back the prop, mixture full, fuel pump on, landing light on, first notch of flaps. The flow goes this way, boom, 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 boom. And the problem with my physical cockpit is you can only practice the flow for whatever airplane you've designed your cockpit to be like.
15 Juliet Golf, let me know when you have the Amarillo weather and the airport in sight.
Roger Wilco, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay, so we're coming up to this. We're getting ready for Amarillo. Amarillo's altitude is 4,600, so we only have to drop 2,000. So that'll be 4 minutes, and at our speed, that'll be about 11, 12 miles. So about the time that we get to the Mode C Vale ring, we'll start to come down. Amarillo's ATIS is come on, just give me the weather. There we go. Is 118.85. All over the place here from an altitude standpoint. Anyway, so, you know, for flows and stuff, it's great. VR is great. All right, how far out are we still? We're coming up to the lake. The lake, we're going to be out 30 miles, about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's about time to get the weather. Let's get it.
Rick Husband, Amarillo International Information, Lima. 1600 Zulu weather. Wind 260 at 19. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 19. Dew point -12. Altimeter 2988.
2988.
Runway 22. Departing runway 22. Advise on initial contact. You have Lima.
Let's listen to that one more time. It's Lima.
Rick Husband, Amarillo International Information, Lima. 1600 Zulu weather. Wind 260 at 20. Visibility more than 10. Sky clear. Temperature 19. Dew
0.015 and squawk 5251.
Okay. Let's get tower frequency ready to go too. 118.3. And we are going to want, from a runway perspective, 17 knot crosswind on 22. I don't like that. What the hell's going on down there? 17.31. That's pretty crazy winds. Those are over our crosswind components for sure. I wonder if there's an alternative. The wind's coming from .270. Wonder where else we could land that would give us a better River Falls, maybe? Then we'd be coming in on .17. Okay. Yeah, I agree with you, Jamie. That'd be really cool. Hey, you did the Cat 1 rating. Good job, Jimmy. It's the beginning of a long education. We're getting quite a bit of stutters here. I'm gonna make a quick change. Something in my setup. Yeah. Whoa. All right, so we are over the very end of the lake. I think I'm looking for Amarillo. The lake went back behind me to that side. We're at the head of it here. I wonder if I'm down here. Am I down here? I might be. It's hard to tell with this where the canyon goes. So I need another landmark here. Yeah, they do get out of date, and I don't really know what to do about it, to tell the complete truth. I think I'm following the river out of here. There should have been the little town. So when I was talking and doing all the stuff I was doing, I lost a little bit of where we are here. So let's get unlost. I can see that terrain in front of me. I can see there's, okay. I don't know how far down this canyon goes as being a canyon versus a dry lake is part of my challenge. But I'm supposed to be west of it. Let's see what we have down here. Even if I'm further east than I think, if I'd go further south, I'm going to hit Amarillo. But we'll find a... I'm not quite ready to climb and confess.
Number 12 Echo, turn left, direct Gink intersection, join Victor 105.
Okay.
Gink, it's correction, Golf India, November, Kilo Echo.
I don't spend a lot of time flying IFR, so it's not a big deal for me. I mean, I fly VFR, and it's awesome for that. Pumping station. We gotta find... Eventually, so if I came and I sort of flew along that thing, I think I'm down here. So... If that's the case, not wanting to cheat and look, once we get out of here, we're going to get pretty close to the sea airspace. Okay, there's power lines. Several power lines running south. Okay. Alright, so those are the power lines. Maybe I'm closer to where I thought I was going to be anyway. Because I bet those power lines are those power lines there. And then, that's the case. Yeah, I've got those power lines coming down. Another set of power lines next to them. Like there's like 3 rounds of power lines coming down here, one of which bends and then straightens out, heading south. Other power lines that converge to join them. That's all this. Yeah, I'm right in here. Okay. So I was actually closer to where I thought I should be than I had feared. Things are better off than we feared. Yeah, power lines on that side. Okay. You know, with these controllers, I find the radios are actually pretty easy to use. You turn, you grip with your finger button, and you turn. It feels really pretty realistic to me. Okay, so the airport is going to be east of town. Town's going to be on our right. Power lines coming down. Yeah, I know my right touch controller battery is low. I hope it doesn't quit on me right when I'm... Oh, it just quit on me. Oh no. Okay, we gotta improvise. Gotta improvise. Gotta get my hands on another battery. Hold on a second. I'm gonna quickly hit pause. We'll see if that freaks them out or not. I should have a battery sitting in here so I don't have to mess with this. We're going to quickly hit pause. And then we're going to quickly come back. Come back to life on me. Pause. Minimize. You know, a quick repair job on our controller. In-flight repairs. Okay, there we go. We lost our chat window though, so let's bring that back. We'll bring our chart back very quickly. Now we just teleported out of the airplane. Smooth as silk. That procedure isn't in the books. Okay. Try to get back to where we're supposed to be going here. Here's the convergence of the power lines. And we're looking for the airport. That looks like a power station. That should be on the charts, I would think.
15 Juliet Golf, the Amarillo airport now, Chipper, 11 o'clock in about 7 miles.
Okay, we're looking 11 o'clock, 7 miles, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay, 11 o'clock, 7 miles. Bring back our power, full pop, mixture. Oh, there it is. Right. Amarillo approach, we have the field in 15 Juliet Golf. Right there.
15 Juliet Golf, Roger. Contact Amarillo Tower now 118.3. Goodie.
Gonna tower in 118.3, 15 Juliet Golf. Amarillo Tower 15 Juliet Golf is 6,200 with echo. Inbound full stop.
15 Juliet Golf, Amarillo Tower, enter the right base, runway 22. Clear to land, wind 27023, gust 32.
Right base for 22, 15 Juliet Golf. Okay, well that means right here. Need to get down 4,600 feet. We're going to do a quick loop to lose some altitude and some speed. Get ourselves down to 4,600. Yeah, I couldn't see the field as well as I thought, but you know, that's also, I didn't quite know where I was. That made it more interesting also. I think it's got the handle for emergency gear extension here and then down below, actually. Keep her coming down, keep her coming down. Winds are blowing, 6,600. We need to go down quite that fast. There we go. Right base for 22. Okay. Now we need to start slowing down. Winds now are coming directly behind us. We're still really fast. 4,600 feet, there we go. Now the airplane will start to come down. Yeah, I know. Saying put down the gear. Okay, gear down. First notch. Manifold pressure. Okay, we're on the fullest tank. Gas is full, undercarriage is down as lock, mixture is rip, prop is full. Trim the airplane. We come into 2-2. Trim, trim, trim. Oh man, this crosswind's crazy! Crazy! A little low. Oh man. We're gonna be crabbing like crazy. Train's going by the stockyard. That's cool. Next notch. Look at the crab on this. Okay, there we are. Okay, get our attitude right. Wow. This is unwise. This is not something we would do in the real world, for the record. little power. I like my speed. I don't know if I'm going to be... The problem is with the ground handling in X-Plane is as soon as we're on the ground, it's going to get crazy. Power back. Trim. Remember, we got to keep some power in on this bird, the way it likes to fly. Get this wing dipped. And not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet, not yet. Kick it. Kick it. Cut the power. Wing down. I'll take it. Now the airplane is weather vaning all over the place because of the way this thing works. Brakes. Oh man. We survived.
15 Juliet Golf taxi to parking via Charlie and Papa, and you can remain this frequency. Have a good day.
Parking via Papa Charlie, stay this frequency 15 Juliet Golf. Okay. Well, that was interesting. Let's put on the parking brakes after that. Well, let's just step on them. Okay, let's flaps up. And strobes off and nabs off. And let's see. Change my underwear. Boost pump. Wow, that was something. One notch of flaps, higher speed approach. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, we survived. One notch. Yeah, when I fly real world, I always come in higher speed. Certainly with a gusting wind. With the crosswind, I guess I probably should as well. Still learning that. Ugh. Well, our windows held up. None of them bailed on us while we were there. While we were coming, that was good. Charlie and Papa. Well, I'm just going to go ahead to, let's pull up the chart here real quick. We came in on 2-2. It doesn't really tell me where GA parking is. We're going Charlie, we'll just go straight ahead. Welcome to Amarillo, Texas. Out here at the southeastern side of the PilotEdge coverage area. I have to tell you, after making all these flights, starting in Half Moon Bay, strikes me what a good bargain the western U.S. expansion is for PilotEdge. Gives you hundreds and thousands of miles of space to fly around. We'll go park over next to this Kodiak. And air traffic control the whole way. Fuel truck, please. Fuel truck, over here. Oh my goodness gracious. That was stressful, man, especially with you guys watching. Holy cow. Okay, avionics. It's hot. Let's open the windows and the doors. Throttle back. Mixture all the way out. alternator, master, key. Whew. Stop. I guess that doesn't. There we go. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah. Hey, Thomas, good to see you. Yeah, there's a little pressure when streaming, a little bit. Yeah, no kidding. You do feel it. I mean, people are watching. I was holding on to that crab going, oh, wow. Okay, so let's see where we go next before we get off the phone or off the video here. Let's, now, what we know is that the whole Albuquerque air traffic control area is in PilotEdge. That's that dashed line there. So we can continue. Lubbock might be the next stop. Fly to Lubbock, and then maybe to Odessa, and then get down in here to the far, very far reaches, the furthest area of the PilotEdge service area, which is one of these little strips down here, 1E2 or 09TS. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly all the way, I'm going to transit the PilotEdge area. We're going to fly from way down there all the way up to the far edge of the service area up here. That's 1,500 miles. That should provide for a pretty good flight. We can actually stop in Wendover and make that a place that we've stopped twice on our route. So we started here. We went up to here. Right, went up to about here. And then now we're going to go down to here. And then we'll go up to there. And then I think it'll be time to go across to here. And then we'll transit all the way down to San Diego from Montana like that. And then maybe up to Oakland again. That'll put us where we started, but it means we will have this spot out. So I'll have to figure that out. What plane is this? Yeah, help to cope with the pressure if check ride is right. Plane is this. It is the new Mooney Ovation for X-Plane from Alabeo/Carenado. Yeah, the pin tablets lasted. I was happy about that. Is the airport a custom scenery? No, this is default. This is default. And can I do a replay of the approach and landing? I don't think so. I don't think I recorded it. Let's see what options it gives me here. No, I have to toggle replay mode, and I didn't have it toggled. Yep. But the bottom line is you should be able to just go up here on the stream here pretty soon and see it. So if we wanted to look around, so yeah, default scenery. Let's take a look. So here we are. These are all default objects. Somebody made this, did a good job with it. We'll go up here, take a look at the Mooney. There it is. You can see how the view of the scenery reflects in the spinner. That's cool. I don't know. Is Oculus available for X-Plane on a Mac? I'm not sure. Yeah, you can do a lot. Van Nuys in the new X-Plane I designed, and I was really surprised with how much I could do with it. I'd encourage you guys to go check it out. I'm pretty proud of it, actually. You can get creative. I mean, by kind of connecting objects. You know, I found ways to like merge hangars together and do stuff that way. Here, we'll go down here. And now they've got the new terminal kits, so all this stuff can look different, and it looks much better. And it's really great. and looks even more realistic than the old ones that they had. And yes, you can now put text on the ground like that, which is nice, handy. Go back to our little bird. There we go. We'll put down the chocks. And that was so much fun. I want to do another flight. I don't think it would be a responsible thing for me to do, by the way. There we go. She's parked and she's ready. We'll save the situation for next time. And we'll be back. Yep, KVNY. KVNY Van Nuys, and they included it in the last release, I think. And I worked on it for a long time. I just kind of worked on it while I had other stuff happening, while I'd be sitting on phone calls or things like that. So, okay, well that's it. It's a predictably hot, clear day here in Texas. And our next stop will be to keep going south. And so yeah, I think we will leave the PilotEdge service territory and go to Lubbock. That will take us about only 37 minutes, a bit shorter flight. And then we can go from Lubbock to Odessa. That'll take about 30 minutes. Maybe I'll just do that all in one shot. Maybe I'll just go to Odessa. Hour and 20 minutes, sort of a long flight. We'll see. And then we'll make our way down here. Okay. All right, everybody, thanks for it. Appreciate it. My pleasure. We'll see you on the next flight. Thanks for tuning in.